Let me see where I want to keep this. I mean, I'm talking permanently. Okay. Okay, there we go. No retakes. Alright. Hopefully you can see me. Hopefully the music stand is in a good enough position. It feels a little bit over to the side. How do I want to do this so that I don't have to move this music stand around every time I want to do a video? What if this is okay? This is fine. This is fine right here. Guess what? This is where it's going to stay. I just have my papers here. So all I want to do is I just want to make sure this is tight enough, and then I'll just, again, I think that that's fine. Okay, there we go. You know, just little adjustments that have to be done in order to make something believable. But it is believable. Alright, so welcome to the first daily announcement video. This is how the announcements will be done from now on. And the reason why I'm doing this is because it's something that I used to do. However, there have been a couple of days, I can count the days. August 29th, 2021 was one of the days. The second day that I can remember would be August 13th, 2022. Both of those 2 days have one thing in common. I have compulsively deleted so many videos that I have done in the past. So many mentioned meetings, so many announcements. All of those have just gotten deleted. And plus, during, May of 2022, I could have transferred stuff over. However, I didn't feel good about my computer at the time, and I also had COVID, so let's just have that as a long-running excuse. What a fun Mercury retrograde that was. Not. May was not an easy month for a lot of people out there. Pretty darn bumpy. And so I feel the regret from deleting so many videos. I really do. But I also know, and I've said this a million times, and it's super cliche, that I have no power over what has been in the past. I cannot change the past. I cannot go back. And I can't re-see those videos again. I can't cook up a spell or snap my fingers or try to find a way to get those back because they're gone. However, I can change the present, and the reality is, I'm going to take it back to how it used to be, how I used to do things. I'm going to do that because I want to do it, I'm inspired to do it, and I also want to make up for all those videos that I've compulsively deleted. Now, those reasons may change over time. I may say one thing, I may say another thing. But yeah, I'm going to give myself permission. So, today is February 5th. We have a full moon in Leo today. The Sun in Aquarius and Moon in Leo are opposing. The Moon in Leo is about really being yourself, giving yourself permission to be creative and to do what you're passionate about, to show something off, to be proud of something in your own way. And the Sun in Aquarius is about your group, bettering humanity, collaboration, and the mind. So balancing the mind with the heart is that polarity. And there's other aspects going on with the full moon. I do have a live stream on my YouTube channel that you can watch about the full moon in Leo that is occurring today. And there's also something that I want to get to with that. So that's one of the announcements that I have. So I'm just going to go in order off of my list here. Okay, because I have a list of stuff. I'm really organized. I'm more organized than I was in the past, let me tell you. So I sort of gave away how I'm doing this. Oh well, that's how it is. Alright, so, we're going to now look at comma splices and fused sentences and what that's all about. And I'm probably guilty of doing it. I probably still do it even though I know what those things are about. I probably won't take this exactly to heart and apply it 100%, but it is a good idea to be aware of. So, I'm going to show you what that is all about. So this is sort of a video version of an invented meeting here. Alright. Now I'm going to show you some examples of comma splices and fused sentences here. And show you what I'm talking about. You know, I have a feeling that the setup right now is not going to be conducive. I mean, it's both now. Like, I like moving things around, but then again, I just kind of like a setup to be in place. So excuse me if I'm a little bit natural and authentic here when I try to figure out what I want to do here. This is not manageable because it's right next to the door. So if I'm going to do this, there has to be a setup that I can sort of stick to make this work. That's probably, let's see, what do I want to do here? Let's actually scooch this over here. This is sort of a cheaper way of doing this so you can see. That you can get, I hope that you can see that. I really do. Whoa, 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 whoa. Can you see that now? Hopefully. You know, actually, let me get the light on here so you can see what. Oh, this thing I like perfection. But I'm embracing just what's natural. Okay, so can you see that? Can you see that what I'm looking at here? So I'm looking at the board, so hopefully you can see what I'm looking at here. So I'm going to show you an example or two of what I'm talking about. So, comma splices and fused sentences. An example of comma splice, as it says in this book that I'm using, it's a composition book. It is what I'm using for my class with Jessa, and there's just a section in here about comma splices. And so an example is we have, it says, he dropped the bucket, the paint spilled on his feet. So, the example would look something like this, if I'm getting it right. He dropped this is going to take too much time, so I'll just write it out so that you can see. Okay, so I hope that you can see this. I'll probably need to bring the phone over so that I can show you, because I don't know if you can see what I'm looking at here. I don't think you can. I wouldn't. So, look here. Hope that you're seeing what I'm seeing. The sentence. He dropped the bucket, comma, the paint spilled on his feet. Now, I may not have the nicest handwriting in the world, but the point being is that there's two sentences kind of put into one sentence. He dropped the bucket, the paint spilled on his feet. So that's an example of a comma splice. Now, I'm just sort of going to jump a little bit forward here. A way of correcting this would be putting and, or just a filler word, right next to the comma to make that a complete sentence and to make it grammatically correct. So when you see a sentence like this in writing, if you can see what I'm looking at, maybe it's a little bit cut off, maybe I'm filming just a part of it. I hope that you can see that now. I'm doing the best I can. See that sentence? So he dropped the bucket, comma, the paint spilled on his feet. And if you can't see it properly, hopefully what I'm saying is making up for that. And also, the main thing is you would need an and right next to the comma to make that grammatically correct and to fix that error. So that's one error that is made. And let's do something a little bit different. This is from the book, just to be totally honest. He dropped the bucket. Let's just get rid of the comma. Let's just get, so I'm removing the comma from that part of the sentence. Now we have a run-on sentence. He dropped the bucket, the paint spilled on his feet. Like, you can hear how that's not correct. You can hear how it doesn't make sense. And there's no comma, there's no and in that particular sentence. And a lot of it depends on the sentence itself. You're probably not seeing what I'm seeing. I am. Camera over another direction. Good gracious. This technology, that technological world that we live in today. So, I'm going to have to show you again. So, he dropped the bucket, the paint spilled on his feet. So, can you see any comma there? I don't see any comma. This is a run-on sentence. He dropped the bucket. See how this one subject matter? So, in a sentence, you would have a subject matter, which is the bucket, and a verb or action. Well, probably not every sentence. But there's a, well, I don't know. But, anyway, so we have a subject, which is bucket, and then the verb, which is the action that person does, is dropped here. He dropped the bucket. So that's one sentence in and of itself, but it's sort of put together with another sentence. The paint spilled on his feet. So this is sort of the verb, sort of not what the person's doing, but you see the subject matter, and then another subject matter, paint and then feet, are sort of the nouns in the sentence, and then the verb is spilled here, as you can see. So these two sentences are put together in one. And as you can tell by how I was speaking about it, and as you can see, it's sort of a run-on sentence. Now, we're going to get into how to fix this error. And it's probably just going to be me repeating myself again. So, just sort of forewarned about that. So comma splice occurs when two or more independent clauses follow one another with only a comma between them. These two, he dropped the bucket and the paint spilled on his feet, those would be examples of independent clauses. You're not even seeing the board. So I hope that you saw that and took that information in. So we have two clauses that are independent. And then we have a comma. We're going back now to the comma splice. So we have a comma right after the bucket. I chose a blue marker this time. No and, no nothing. And we have one clause. We have one. So this would be an example of a clause with a subject and then a verb. This would be an example of a clause. So this is clause 1, he dropped the bucket. Clause 2 would be the paint spilled on his feet. So we have the subject matters, or subject matters, two of them, and then the verb, spilled. So those are the two clauses that we're talking about. The two separate categories put and compounded into one. And then we already looked at a few sentences, and technically that occurs when two or more independent clauses follow one another with no punctuation in between. Again, that kind of like the run-on sentence. Now it talks about editing this issue, so let's not just end the story without finishing it. So editing comma splices in few sentences. So there are several ways to do this. So when it comes to editing a comma splice, I mean there's several ways as long as it's grammatically correct. You see, we have. I'm gonna have to do something here. I mean, it's kind of ridiculous why I should have to show you. Have to bring the phone over every time I want to show something at the board. So I'll make a mental note that maybe I'll have to consider something or do something different. But one of the ways we could fix this is we could can I flip the maybe there's a way to no, I don't. Well, maybe there. Oh, that took a picture. Okay, well, you can take a picture while you're filming. That's great. Of all the times I've made videos, I never noticed that you could do anything like that. That's super neat. So you see, actually, there is a period there. What do you know? So this is one way to fix it. We have one sentence, one subject matter. He dropped the bucket, period. Then another sentence. Let's just capitalize T for the. I'm using another marker, but that's fine. So he dropped the bucket, period. The paint spilled on his feet, period. These are two sentences separately. So that's one way to fix the issue. Let's see, what else does it talk about here? It says, as an example, the two intentional comma splices. Okay, well, that's good to know. The school board debated an issue for 3 days, but they were unable to reach an argument. So fixing a comma splice basically be like putting an and or but next to the comma, or anything that would make sense to, grammatically correct, depends upon the nature of the sentence. So if we have a sentence, like it says here, the school board debated the issue for 3 days, that's a positive. But we're talking about the reverse of a positive, which is a negative. But they were unable to reach an agreement. And the same can happen in a sentence when we have a negative to start the sentence, comma, but this was what was positive about it. This is something else that's positive. So it just depends on the sentence, but and or but, two common words after that comma. And then it gets kind of involved in here with the semicolon. So if the relationship between the two clauses is clear with the coordinating conjunction, you can simply join them with the semicolon. Psychologists study individuals' behavior, semicolon. Sociologists focus on group level dynamics. So you would have if I'm getting this correct, so he dropped the bucket. After the bucket, I'm putting a semicolon. He dropped the bucket, semicolon, the paint spilled on his feet. I'm kind of questioning that. But one way to fix it would be putting a semicolon after the comma and putting, then you would put therefore some type of word and then fill in that sentence. Add a subordinating word to clarify the relationship between, that sort of gets a little, maybe it would make sense with the sentence that you're not seeing right now, but I'm looking at on the board, to say, sort of questioning this, because, putting the word because he dropped the bucket, the paint spilled on his feet. So that's sort of to explain the subordinating word for that sentence. So it clarifies the relationship between the two clauses. It just makes sense in that way. And then authors will occasionally put in intentional comma splices. Like it said, like the phrase "watery in June, corn be heavy soon," which is a quote from someone speaking, and that's a little bit different than writing. But that's an intentional comma splice, because there's no and, or there's no word or nothing to make sense of that right next to the comma, with the two parts of the sentences sort of put together, So if you have, am I going to have to explain this again? So an intentional, something that authors would write, and this is in The Lottery. If you've ever read the short story of The Lottery, then you probably are aware of this. This is just an example. Corn be heavy or corn be ready soon. I'll just put heavy. That's a strange sentence, it really is. But the point in all of that is, this would be another example. So you see Lottery in June as the first sort of example here, and then the comma, no other word, and then the other clause with the subject and verb, which is corn be heavy soon. So occasionally authors will put in that in their writing work, but it's not too often they do it intentionally, and they have the right and the license to do that. Maybe they do. I can't find my Kleenex. There it is. Okay. So that is just a little mini lesson on clauses, and on comma places. So it talks about Marian Hayes, repentant leisure, and academic writing. Talks about academic writing because the book is geared for college writing. It would be seen as a mistake, but not to get too into that, because that doesn't apply to you. Writers sometimes use only a comma between clauses that are very brief or closely parallel in structure. Lottery in June, corn be heavy soon. Those two clauses are really similar to each other in length anyway. So that's another thing to add. They're very brief. They're not long. Too long. Both of them are equally short in terms of structure. So, is it a proverb? It is a proverb. The Lottery in June, corn be heavy or ready soon, is a proverb. That's what it would be called. So that's a little sort of break from other stuff. I did sort of plan to do this in this video, and so I did it. So, we're checking that off the list. Now, the next thing I want to get to is I've done all that. There is going to be an Aquarius Clubus meeting. This will be meeting tomorrow, February 6th at 1:30 p.m. Mark your calendars. It will be in this room. And in that meeting, we'll be discussing, and I'll be going through the section on Aquarius as a child and that particular content of Aquarius children, how they need to be nurtured, how they are in nature, and there'll be sort of a writing about sort of an Aquarius, an experience in your childhood that sort of followed under the content that we read about Aquarius as a child and how you can relate that to your own childhood and your experience. So there'll be that writing, and I'll explain what that's all about tomorrow for those who want to attend that meeting. Again, I keep saying this over and over again. If you want to be in the meetings, then you do not have to come to every meeting. But if you're coming, I highly recommend that you read the section beforehand and that you see the emails. Check your email, because I will send an email about what will be going on for that particular meeting. And it's a club, sort of club, but then it's a class too. So it's sort of a blend between those. Past videos is another thing. I am uploading past, I have past astrology videos that I'm putting in a playlist, so you can go check that out. And I am currently working on uploading past archive videos from 2020 and the years previous of mentioned meetings and videos of me. So once I get all those videos uploaded, I will send a really huge email putting all the links to those videos, and I'll put them all over my page on a certain tab of past videos, so you can go check it out on my mentioned page. And yeah, they'll all be available for you to watch and reflect on, and get to see again. So that's going on. All right. Full moon video and email is the next thing. So today is the full moon in Leo. And so what I want you to do is watch a video about the full moon, or an article online about the full moon. Probably one of the sources I use for my live stream video, but anyway. And then when you're done, I do want you to email me the video. So send me the link. Tell me what you liked about it, what you thought of the video or article, and then something new, or what you remember from it, what you learned from it. And so that's basically what it's asking. So, what do you remember, and what have you learned from that article or video? So those are the questions. I have those instructions laid out on my page for you to watch under. I just have a little tab, Full Moon Leo, and it's basically just I put the link to the live stream and then the email assignment, down below those instructions. You'll find it there on my page. Now, also on the email about the full moon in Leo video, you also need to do what was the video called? Who was the creator, or the or the channel that made the video? Put a link to the video. And what was something that what did you like about it? What do you think of the video? How do you feel about it? What are the things that you remember from that video? And also, how is it unique to other videos? What does that person do that's unique to, say if I were to watch another astrology video? Not only that, and also, talking about The Red Fern Grows, which is a book that I'm trying to finish reading right now, because I'm going through and finishing reading the books that I need to finish reading. by sitting down at a desk, reading the PDF of the book out loud, recording a video while doing it, and then uploading those videos to my accounts on YouTube. And not only that, but what'll happen is I've ordered copies, actually, a couple of days ago for Where the Red Fern Grows, and they should be here tomorrow, maybe. And so what I want you to do is read the first 2 chapters by February 10th at 11:59 p.m. Because what'll happen is you will just write, a little, there'll be questions about the chapters that you'll answer, and you'll summarize, questions about the chapter, just comprehension questions that you'll answer on a document, on, several documents, which will ask you, for chapter. There'll be a document, or there'll be a Google form actually for a quiz over chapter 1, a quiz over chapter 2, so that I know that you have read those chapters, and that you're, paying attention to what you're reading, because I'm finishing books up, and I also want, you to do that along with me, so that I'm not the only one doing it. So with every chapter you read, there'll be quizzes over those chapters, and there might be a couple writing responses that'll go along with that. I think there is, there's a couple written responses that I have on my page to go along with the content in those particular chapters that you'll find on my page under the tab Where the Red Fern Grows. You'll find the chapters, you'll find the PDF of the book, you'll find the Google Forms, which are the quizzes, and you'll find the written questions for every chapter. Maybe not every chapter, but certain chapters, and you'll just answer that question and write about it. A lot of these are just from your own experience, of your own thoughts of how can you answer that question that pertains to what happened in the chapters. So for instance, in chapter 2 or chapter 3, one or the other, you'll ask, what is something that you've always wanted, that you've worked for in the past to achieve, or what's something that you want, and how you will go about achieving, or what's something that you're willing to wait and achieve slowly but surely, step by step. So something like that. There is a question that asks you that kind of question, and you'll just answer it from your own experience and do the best you can. You can make something up or embellish something or come up with something if you can't think of anything to answer for those questions. So for the certain chapters, there will be responses that will pertain to what happened in that chapter that you'll do, as well as the quizzes for each chapter. And then by the end of the whole book, there'll be an assessment, just a test. Maybe you're writing, but maybe just a test for the whole book at the very end, which is I haven't made that yet. I still have to go through it. I'm still making the quiz, and I'm still making stuff. But the material for chapter 1 and chapter 2 should be on there to begin with. So, those quizzes, those writing assessments, that PDF of the book, all those kind of things, and videos. And there's a movie that I'm going to put on there as well for you to see, of Where the Red Fern Grows, after you're done reading it. And then there'll be a compare and contrast thing you'll do from the book to the movie, when watching it and viewing it, compare and contrast or writing that you'll do for that. So anyway, all that information is on there on my page, laid out in that way. And by the end of February 10th, you should have read Actually, I'm going to extend it on February 13th. You should have read chapters 1 and 2 of Where the Red Fern Grows. And so that is what you need to do by the end of that day, February 13th, 11:59 p.m. Read those chapters and do those quizzes and assignments, which will actually be due on February 16th. Those quizzes and those writings will be due for Chapter 1 and Chapter 2 on February 16th at 11:59 p.m. So that's what I want to, inform you about. Things are going to be a little bit faster in terms of the pace in regards to that book. So I sort of have to see what I'm going to do to put an imposition upon Kindle classes in the direction that I'm going in. So anyway, that's that segment of this video. Now, the next really big thing is a global hot button issue assignment. So what this is going to be, what this is going to entail is for Aquarius season, it'll be due the 28th. I would start getting working on that now, and I may extend that due date out. But what you'll do is you will take an issue going on in society today, and you'll go online and research it, maybe watch videos, but maybe read articles and go to the library and get a book about it. Read about it, research, take notes, and have research about it, and then you'll be doing a pamphlet about where you're giving the information about how is this a problem in society today, and then what are the solutions to fixing it. What are the solutions to fixing this issue? So you'll have a document with all of your research, and then you'll have you'll need a works cited page with all your sources in MLA format. You can go to Purdue OWL, they have a site. You go to Research and Citation, go under Electronic Sources, and you'll find that information there, and just follow the instructions to cite those sources. You'll have a research document, and then you'll have another document, which is your online pamphlet that you'll fill in and put, type out. There'll be a section that'll type out the problems of how this is an issue, and giving the information about it, some pictures and the solutions, and list them out, and potentially probably put images to those as well, and then you will turn it in. So that's basically what it is going to entail for Aquarius season, because Aquarius is about humanity, and it's about the collective and what's going on in the world at large. So alright, so Nadia Shah arrival. I am going to do another little part to this video after I'm done getting through this, which is going to be a more fun type of part, but I don't want to include it in this. Nadia Shah arrival on February 11th. There'll be a presentation at 2 o'clock. She'll be going over the astrology of 2023 and the big and small transits, aspects, lunations that'll be happening this year in the theater, in the room over there. You can come at 2 o'clock. There'll be snacks and drinks for you to see. And it's really also open for the Mentons as well. And she has a whole presentation prepared, and she's going to be giving a speech about that. And I think it'll be really insightful, informative, and interesting for all of you. Reminder, I have a video on the weekly announcements that I did just the other day. I do want you to watch that, because that has really important information for what is going on for every single day of this week, and I'll be reiterating that on the weekly announcements, including other stuff as well. So I do have that video on those weekly announcements. I go through every single day what's happening, what's the assignment that you need to do, what the theme of the day is about. I go through those announcements. I just give you general astrology overview for the week and talk about any other thought that's on my mind that I want to share. So that's that. You can go check it out. It is going to be an email that I sent you. You can check it in your inbox. I sent you the email with the link to that video. So go check your email, watch it, and get that information. Probably take notes from it, write it down. You can always go back to it. And every single day, maybe you can watch just a certain section of that video for that particular day, so that you know what's going on that particular day. Because when you watch it, and you forget it the whole entire week unless you take notes from the video, so that you can remember what's going on each and every single day. But preferably, I would go in and watch the video, and then every single day you're going to watch just a little section from that video pertaining to that day, so that you know what's happening and know what the assignment is and know what's going on that day and know what I planned. So that's that. Another small little thing I want to insert is content abuse. Make sure that when you watch videos, read articles, that you are being, mindful and aware of how much you're watching, and if you're binge watching those, and if you're compulsively and impulsively going through one video after another in an effort to achieve something, in an effort to get it done well, or in an effort to finish something, change your motives. And just watch it because you just want to watch it, respectively. And content abuse also deals with watching something, and binge watching, or like you have a lot of videos to watch and you have sort of, like a list of videos that you need to get checked off your list, and you need to get those done. It's like work. It's like something you have to get accomplished. And then you're watching one video after another because you feel probably bombarded with that information, and you've seen the videos on the algorithms, and you feel like you need to get those videos watched. So if it's for the reasoning of getting something accomplished and getting videos watched, and you're just watching one video after another, trying to get it done, and not really feeling nourished or gaining value, or enjoying that video, then you're probably abusing the content. And it really also depends on how many videos you're watching. But just be mindful of why you're watching videos. Watch a video because you want to and you're inspired to watch it, not because you want to get it done and checked off the list. For the most part, realistically. So, the other announcement, I sort of have to pare it down into the small little things for these videos. There is some truckers, what's going on with this whole deal is, in front of Labimbi Grocers in Minton, there are people that are lined up with trucks, and they are delivering textbooks, novels, biographies, and they are delivering those books because Labimbi Grocer is going to be putting on a book sale that will be on February. I would say sometime next. It's actually going to be. She's going to postpone it until February 15th. So the middle of February, right after Valentine's Day on Tuesday of this month. Valentine's Day is on a Tuesday. She is going to be having a book sale where you can go there, and it's going to be all day long from about, I think, I don't know the times. She hasn't set that up yet. But what it'll basically be is it'll be a book sale that'll be, there'll be tables, there'll be books. You can go pay for the books, buy them. You can also bring your books and, sort of like a bring and buy. You bring your own stuff, and then you buy something from what's available there. It's sort of like a book garage sale, if you will, but it also operates like a bring and buy sale. Basically, you can go and buy books and buy whatever you're interested in, and she is doing that for charitable purposes, and she believes in knowledge and people getting, educated and reading books, and so many reasons. So that is going on in the 15th of February. Actually, it may be from the 15th to the 17th, so a 3-day sale, at Hermiton. And the final little announcement is that Labimbi Grunier is rearranging stuff, and she currently, Hermiton is going through a bit of a revamping and remodeling process. And she, certain materials are getting put back into Hermiton, innovated, things are getting changed around, and so she sort of sent a message and an email out to all of you for help. Like if you could come there and help and lend a hand and, get something accomplished for her and sort of, help for kind of, greater good. I think that there's a lot of value in that. Where you can go and you can help out, like set up chairs in this room or set up this table in this room. And so you'll go, and then there'll be people there to give you jobs and things to do. You'll do that, and then, you'll come back over, and then people will probably ask you to do this thing, or you can, leave whenever you want to. But I would recommend you come and you do get something off the ground. So, what'll happen, you'll go there, you'll get tasks that you are assigned to accomplish in various areas of Hermiton, and then you'll set those things up, and once you're done, you can go. So it's, just really for all of you to contribute and to help out. She really wants to help, and it would be good for all of you in that way. Okay, so these are your daily announcements. Bye for now, everybody. If I can stop. Pictures that you'll put in, and then you'll